On today's episode, we're taking a look at our CloudCap extras. Stay tuned. Hey everybody, Matt here for AVC and welcome back to the shop. So like we said in the intro, we're gonna be taking a look at some of the cool extra things we've done to this CloudCap to make it a little more comfortable for us here at AVC and perfect for our adventure van. So one of the first things we did here was actually mount our roof rack all around the perimeter. The CloudCap fits all sorts of different kinds of vans, and so because the top of the Ford Transit is extra crowned, it ends up having some big gaps here on the sides, and it looks a little funny. It just doesn't look awesome. So we ended up putting the perimeter of our roof rack all around the outside. We put one crossbar in the back so that we can do a little bit of cable management back there. But other than that, it's just around the outside to give it a little bit more of that adventure look. And we have a little excess space up at the front. If we want to put a light bar or something like that on there, we can. And we can direct mount an awning on the passenger side on this. So if we get to that point for my family build, we put an awning on that passenger side, it's ready to go too. So we've considered adding some different things to the top of this tent to get us a little bit more connected when we're out adventuring. And I've considered doing Starlink, but the reality is I don't want to be that connected. I don't want my kids on their iPads or playing with the internet, stuff like that. But it is nice to sometimes get a little bit of extra cell boost. And so we put this WeeBoost up here. So we picked up this special mount that's actually designed for the CloudCap and other Super Pacific tops that mounts on the side of the CloudCap here. We wanted to keep that profile as low as possible. And so we picked this one up because it's here mounted on the side, and it's something that I can just stand up in the tent and deploy. So when it's in the down position, it's down. And then I can pull this pin, bring it up, and then it's in the up position and it's ready to go. Being on top of the cell boost, or up on top of the tent here, we're like 20 feet in the air. So it should give us some really good cell boosting range. Because we put that WeeBoost way up here at the front, we wanted to make sure we had some extra good cable management. And so we designed and 3D printed our own cable management guides for the entire top. So this is gonna route our WeeBoost cell booster. It routes the power for the fan up on top. It also routes all the solar wires all along this top edge. And it's physical 3D clamps that we've printed, and it clamps around all those wires. It uses the T-track here on the side of it, and it just locks everything into place. Keeps everything from twisting, anything like that, and I think it looks super clean. We're really happy with these. The top on the CloudCap is really translucent, which is good and bad. It's good if you want some extra light up there during the day, but it's bad if you want to sleep in. So we wanted to add some solar to the rooftop, and we found these flexible panels from Renogy. They were 25 inches a piece, and so they fit perfectly across the back. They're 150 watts each, so we have 300 watts of solar on the roof, and that seemed like it was just kind of perfect without using up too much extra real estate and without going overboard on costs. You know, they were a little bit more money because they're a high efficiency, flexible panel, but they're really low profile and the size was just right. And it was a super easy install. So we just stuck these things down on the top, cleaned it with the ISO, and then routed the wires, and we're all set. Even though we put a pop top on the van, we didn't want to lose the functionality of having a rooftop fan. One of the cool things is that this CloudCap has a pass-through to get through the inside. And so that means we can match cut the fan on top so we can still function the fan here, whether the top is closed or open. And we ended up going with a NomadicAir Fan, which is a new fan for us here at the shop. I've never done one, so I wanted to test it out. It has a brushless fan, which is pretty cool. It has a privacy shade built in, and it has vents on the side, so you can still run the fan even when you want to black it out. It has lights built into the top on the front and back of this, which is pretty cool for the pop top because we don't have extra lights up here. So this is going to give us a little bit more light in the pop top at night if we want it. Installing this Air Plus is a little bit tricky because it doesn't have that really deep shroud like you do on a Max Fan Deluxe. And so we actually had to fur it out here. So we added a 1/4 inch thick piece of bamboo, matched it to our ceiling, matched it to part of the pass-through here. And I think it looks pretty clean. We matched it, you know, on the CNC and got all the curves and everything like that just right. And that added just enough extra thickness so we can mount that up. Looks like you need at least 3/4 of an inch of depth to mount this fan properly. Of course, this fan has a brushless motor, which is really cool. So it should stay, you know, really nice and quiet. I'm hoping it doesn't have that same kind of bearing issue that some of the Max fans do. It still has a remote control, so we can function all this stuff, even if the top is up, down, whatever. I can turn the lights on for the kids if they can't figure it out, even stuff like that. One day when I was cruising Instagram, I noticed another pop-top company that did a finished floor in their van. and I thought it looked really nice. It seemed like it really unified the space and made the inside of the pop top more like the interior of the camper van. And so I reached out to CloudCap, I talked to them, and Philip hooked me up with the DXF file that is the actual perimeter of this. And then I had Perfect Fit CNC cut a section of 2-Tech 2. And so I got the exact same flooring that we used in the van. So it seems like it's really a built-in product. It's all unifies everything, and it makes the van up here a lot quieter, makes it feel a lot more homey, and it just makes it feel like it's a much more finished space. So this is a really cool addition that we're happy to show off. The last thing I wanted to talk about was our pass-through here. So I wanted a way to keep my pillow from falling through up here on top and have like a little grate that could kind of sit up here. And so we CNC'd a 1/2-inch ring around the outside and gave it a little lip. We upholstered that. We upholstered with some padding the vertical thickness here. And we just kind of made like a nice finished space. With this extra lip here, it gives me a little bit of purchase so I can climb up here into the top. And it's just compressing everything together. And so that locks that 2-Tech flooring into place. So the 2-Tech 2 isn't glued in or anything. If I need to take it out of here and rinse it, I could. But the ring is all that's holding it down. It's just stuck in here. Now, the other thing I did was cut these little bamboo grates, and they're okay, but I think I'm gonna have to go back to the drawing board on these. Spanning this long distance just means they're a little flimsy, and I think they're either gonna make noise on the road or my kid's gonna like fall through them or something like that. So we'll do another revision on this and see what we can come up with, but I like the functionality. I wanted airflow to be able to go through here. I wanted to be able to leave them in place, and I wanted something that I could put down at nighttime so that I could like put my pillow over here, or if I knocked something over, it wouldn't go through the top and down into the van. On the bottom of this pass-through, we did a matching bamboo to match the ceiling. So we just did a really simple interior trim ring, tried to keep it as slim as possible, but we kept square edges, so it just terminates into our unistrut over here on the passenger side, and square terminates into our overhead cabinets on the driver's side. Well, that's it for today. Remember, this is just one episode in a complete build series for our 2025 show van. So if you have questions about the CloudCap, the install, or any of the extras that we put on this top, let us know in the comments below and we'll get you answered. If you want to get a van professionally built by AVC or get a CloudCap installed by AVC, go ahead and use that link in the description below and we can get your project started. If you learned something today, don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next episode.